Johnny Somali was sentenced in South Korea, but he was just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to IRL nuisance streaming. We're going to get today, we review a new trailer for the upcoming documentary IRL on the legal mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney who's been covering the Johnny Somali case from beginning to end. And one of the things that we've been focusing on, and indeed this is something that the judge himself noted in his sentencing explanation, is that the threat of nuisance streaming and IRL nuisance streaming particularly is something that they are very concerned about, including copycats, and something that I pointed out is a massive issue. Johnny Somali was just part of a larger network of people, and while we're going to talk today about CX and Ice Poseidon, a lot of others are out there wanting to copycat people exactly like them, which is why when these things come up, when they've crossed the line as it comes to violating laws, the punishment has to be harsh, or else there's going to be many, many other Somali clones out there in the world. So let's take a look at this upcoming trailer.
Well, look who it is, Johnny Somali.
You're the one who said it. You said it today. You're like content over everything. You did.
And that's the mindset right there. Content over everything, kind of giving the credit to Ice Poseidon, showing where he came from, his background, his pedigree. And that's the thing for a lot of these people, is really they are only thinking. People ask, why do they do it? Well, that's what they say, content over everything. If you're not being controversial, if you're not pushing the edge, if you're not doing things that nobody's ever done before, including breaking laws no one's ever broke before, well, then that's not content, right? They call that non-tent. That's the mindset that gets us here. That's exactly how we get in this position in the first place. So very much starting out in the right track there.
You're like content over everything. You didn't say that.
It's true. Yeah. You're pretty articulate with your words.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna be I thought you were like some degenerate, but you actually seem like a pretty smart guy.
No, I'm a smart guy and a degenerate.
And that's the dangerous thing about Johnny Somali. See, from the beginning, a lot of people have just said he's an idiot, he's stupid. He's actually not completely dumb. He's tried to and knows how to push certain lines and get out of things. He knows how to try to go in and act with all this bravado in his streaming and his online personality. But then when he comes into court, when he comes to police, oh, no, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I'm an American. You can't do this to me. Trying all the other tricks of the trade. I have some sort of disease. I have ADHD, whatever it is. He's going to say has to get out of the situation. And that's just the way that Johnny Somali is. And you have to know that he's been trying to manipulate this entire situation from the beginning. And others like Johnny Somali try to do the exact same thing. They will try to bait you, rage bait you. They'll make the most controversial clip, and then they know exactly how to back down afterwards, how to deal with the police, how to go lawyer up. And this is the kind of pattern for nuisance streaming that I think is so potentially dangerous, is they are able to essentially farm all this attention and hate and then get away with essentially breaking the law. And I love how they call him the black sheep of CX, but for a while there, Johnny Somali was very much in with everybody, in with the crew. They were all hanging out with Johnny Somali. So he's the black sheep now only because he was banned off of Kick, which happened in Israel. You'll see that clip in a second. But he was banned only after he was pushed out of the money making, after he could no longer get them clout, after he was no longer useful. They completely discarded him. And that's kind of the pattern with a lot of these streamers. They're only useful up until the time they get kicked off the platform, whether it's Kick or whatever other platform, or demonetized. As soon as that happens, people like Ice Poseidon that are still on the platform will just discard them, get a new streamer, bring somebody new in. So all these guys are disposable up to that point, but they're all potential Johnny Somalis. They're all Johnny Somalis waiting to happen.
The community wanted content.
Oh my God, yo, this is what I was looking for. Japan hates this thing.
And this is great proof. So this right here, this clip where he's going by this with his little partner in crime there, talking about the comfort woman statue. Johnny Somali knew this before right? Before he went and did everything else. So his whole trying to say, I didn't know this was Korean culture, etc. No, he knew this. He was saying Japan hates this thing. He knew exactly what it was. He went there intentionally to go to harass people, to rile them up, to piss them off, right? Everything he did was very, very, very much intentional.
You don't know the significance of that.
I do.
See, he's saying, you don't know, but I know. He's literally saying there, hey, you don't know the significance, but I am well aware of that. And I did all of these gross things. And that was just the kiss. That wasn't the baby oil. That wasn't the, Diddy comments. All the Diddy comment, baby oil stuff happened after that, right? So all of it happened after he was already acknowledging that he knows the significance of that statue.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
That's, of course, in Japan. And once again, he got a lot of flack for that. And in fact, he was confronted by an American Korean, which was quite based of him to step up to Johnny Somali and tell him to quit it.
If you don't say that, you're a pussy. It's my first week streaming. I was like, you know what? It. And I didn't know it was going to get clipped, shipped, Reddit.
He knew it was going to get clipped, shipped, Reddit. He knew that everything was going to get sent all over the internet. In fact, that's what he was counting for. He's trying to pretend, once again, oh, I don't know this thing is going to get out. No, of course you do. That's why you're doing it in the first place, right? He's doing it for notoriety.
Up on Reddit, my mom calls me on WhatsApp and is like, what the are you doing to our family name?
I'm American. I'm American. What are you doing?
So this is the most horrible thing, and this is over in Israel. And after this incident, a little bit after this, in the Wailing Wall incident, where he put pictures of Epstein and Aiden Ross and Weinstein in the Wailing Wall, after all of this, and he gets banned off of Kick, that's when he was discarded. That's when Ice Poseidon, the CX crew, everybody else pushed him out. But until then, as you see by the clips here and as you see in the trailer, he's buddy with them, right? Until all these things went down, he was with them. He was with them in Thailand. He was with them in Japan, right? He was messing around with them for quite a while.
I'm a celebrity.
You ain't no celebrity, bro.
And I love people calling him out and just saying you're not a celebrity, because he really isn't. He wants to think he's a celebrity, and he wants to think that all this attention is making him into some sort of celebrity. But no, he's not. He's a reviled figure.
You've done the same stuff as me. Trespassing.
I mean, trespassing.
Okay, same thing.
I've done trespassing,
TTS
but
in
I don't
public?
go around
TTS in
and
media
harass
public?
the general public. Kimchi is man.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these guys. I mean, Ice Poseidon is on mega giga cope there saying, I don't harass the general public. What are you talking about, bro? Now, that being said, right now, they've cooled off. They're doing American content that's really not a problem at all over in America because they're watching the Johnny Somali case. But when you see what these guys were doing in Japan, what they're doing in Asia, they were pushing the limit. They were trying to be annoying. They were intentionally doing things that were extremely offensive, that would bother other people, that were disruptive. That's why you see streamers now, when they go to Japan, are kicked out of restaurants, are kicked out of bars because they're pulling stuff like this. And it's something where the Japanese are over it. People abroad are over it. And they're saying, you know what, we were being kind before, but we're done. And this is how, these societies, unfortunately, societies I love, Japan, Korea, that were high trust, that generally could allow people to do what they want to do. Now they've got to crack down because of knuckleheads like these guys that end up ruining it for everybody with their really horrible behavior.
Old lady.
Chinese virus. Don't call police. Don't call police. It was a tsunami warning. Beep, beep, beep.
It doesn't matter. I don't really give a
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It really is all about the money. And that's why Ice Poseidon was chewing out Johnny there. That little encounter that they had, this encounter was in the subway station in Seoul. This whole encounter was for him to put this kind of fake distance between him. But really, if you look at the things they're doing, not that different. In fact, Ice Poseidon also banned from a country for quite illegal behavior that he was warned of, right? So that's really, there's really not much of a distinction between the two there, because they're only doing it for the money.
Hey, he'll give you 1,000. Show him why you're the next up and coming thing.
See, that's the thing. Once again, you see these guys coming up. You see these guys. Ice Poseidon is dealing with, they're being groomed to be the next Somali. They're being pushed to be the next Somali because he doesn't care if they go out and get arrested. He'll find some new streamer, some new guy who wants some money, some new person who wants to get a couple $1,000s to do something idiotic. There's always going to be another person to come up that will do something for a couple thousand that just wants the money. And that's the pipeline there that's got to be stopped with harsh punishment in Korea. That's why Johnny Somali has to be punished harshly, or else these people here are just going to get a couple $1,000s and walk out the door. They're just going to pay the fine. They're going to do the small amount of time in jail, walk out, and just continue doing this stuff without any fail.
Win or lose, I get 1K.
Yes.
Make no mistake, Johnny Somali liked that attention when he thought he wasn't going to jail. He loved this attention. He loved all this, the camera footage, all that other stuff when he was coming in. He was eating that up until he was locked up, right? Until that moment when you saw his face just drop when he knew he was not going to get away with it.
You seem like you're actually a smart guy, so why do the degen stuff?
I don't know. It's how I live my life. I enjoy it.
He enjoys it. So that's the trailer for IRL. It's coming up to be released very soon. I hope all of you check it out. I'll put a link to the trailer in there below. But this shows you guys why it's so important that we continue to pursue a very harsh sentencing for Johnny Somali. Otherwise, there's going to be a million clones of him out there in the future. I want to know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the next one. I want to take this opportunity to remind everyone to subscribe to the channel and make sure when you click on that subscription, you have all your notifications turned on, because YouTube has a way of not letting you know when the latest and greatest are out unless you make sure those notifications are indeed on for the channel. And if you really like the content, consider joining as a member. We have 2 exclusive member streams every month where you can ask absolutely any question, and we go into a little bit more casual and fun topics that we don't normally cover in the normal streams. So make sure you do that, subscribe, and consider joining as a member. Thanks.